This is the November 7, 2018 meeting of the Lakeville Police Station Building Committee. First thing I need to do is ask if anybody's taping the meeting. Let the record show that Lake Cam is present and is recording the meeting. No one else has indicated that they're taping the meeting. Our first order of business is to approve our meeting minutes from October 3, 2018, which have been provided to us. Did anybody have any questions relative to the meeting minutes? Concerns, comments? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve them as drafted. So moved. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, the motion carries. The next agenda item is our construction update, which I will turn over to Taylor.
And I will turn it over to Bob and let him give you an update on what's going on over there.
All right.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody? Since the last committee meeting, the following progress has been taking place on the site. The outbuilding roof trusses and some exterior trim and asphalt shingles have been installed, and rough electrical inspection has been approved. The masons have installed the CMU at the Sally Port and cell area, and they're probably about 70% done on that. The electricians have been working with the masons installing electrical conduit at the Sally Port and cell area. The site contractor, I would have to say they're probably 90% complete installing the catch basins, drainage, and roof drainage piping. They also installed the septic tanks and propane tank, and site grading is ongoing. And their goal is to have the asphalt binder coat installed by the end of the month. Brunswick Systems have finished installing the exterior metal studs to the main building and now are installing the insulated hunter panels. The framing contractor have installed the majority of the wood roof trusses at the main building. Over the next few weeks, the roof sheathing, trim, and roof shingles will be installed at the main building. The exterior siding and trim will be installed at the outbuilding, and the propane gas line will be installed to the outbuilding and main building. On the side note, the site super and myself met with the State 911 and General Dynamics along with the Verizon to review the site and the communication room. There were no issues, and I will keep them abreast of the construction schedule. That's all I have so far.
Overall construction schedule, it's been a rainy couple months, but the general contractor feels, he looked at his actual schedule that he started with, he's about 5 days behind of that target date. So that he had some float in there. We don't think it's going to be an issue at this point. He thinks he can make it up, but just so everybody's aware, that's where his target is right now, is about -5.
Does he have any sort of formal schedule to try to make that up, or is there enough, that's not considered enough time for us to be concerned about it?
There's plenty of time to not be concerned about it at this point, yeah.
Okay.
Not a concern.
No. Early in the process.
Sure, no, that's why I'm asking. It's next month, it's 10 days behind, maybe we have a conversation,
Yeah.
but if you think that's a reasonable amount, then...
Yeah, we talked about it today, and we think the next plan of attack is to get that roof done. Once he gets the roof done and the sheathing on the outside done and has some heat inside the building, the productivity level is going to explode on the inside of the building. So that's his main focus, and he thinks once he can get there, that time, gets all made back up. So another way to look at it too is the original project schedule he gave us was using all of the project schedule. It used all of the 12 months that we gave them to complete it. He probably has his own schedule that really shows 10 to 11 months of construction. So he's given himself leeway throughout the entire project with that first construction schedule, saying, yes, I'll be done substantial completion on this date, But really, he wants to be done and out of there well before that, so.
Right, okay.
I think the optics also in the beginning, there's so much site work and so many, we were joking how many miles of conduit have been buried into that ground, going from building A to building B to pole A
Sure.
and stuff. So that now things should start to look like something's happening.
Right. No, I get it. I understand. I mean, I drive by it every day and look, and there's definitely activity going on, unless, of course, the weather's been bad. And I'm sure it's just always that idea that if, they need to get that building buttoned up by a certain time frame, and if they don't, we're in trouble. But we're not in panic mode yet, I guess is what you're telling me.
I guess I go by it every day too and look at it. And to me, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of people working on the framing part of the building.
There isn't.
So isn't that a concern? I would thought the
I
thing would have been
agree
framed
there. I
and
have the same feeling.
closed in by now.
Yeah, they're trying to get more framers there.
I mean, I went by today and there might have been 3 guys.
Right.
There's
Yeah, and
there's
it's been
4
like
framers
that.
there.
It's been like that through the whole time, too. That I've noticed, when I've noticed as a crew, it's, in terms of doing that specific aspect of the job, there doesn't seem to be a large number of people there, bodies.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that we've been bringing up at every single meeting. It's something we're on top of them, surely on. They're trying to get more guys there. It's happening on every project, is that there's a labor shortage. So like I said, overall schedule, I don't think it's affecting them yet. But yeah, we know that framing's going slow. It's their schedule at this point. It's their schedule to maintain. We can tell them how, we can tell them ways to get there, but it's really their schedule to how they're gonna meet that deadline.
No reason to raise any red flags, though, at this point.
Do the framers
Well,
have any
unless the weather-
deadline?
excuse me, go ahead.
Do the framers have any deadline or a time period where they need to?
They probably have one with the general contractor,
Right.
but not within, they're a sub of the general contractor.
Right.
So we don't really have any contractual obligations with them. So no, we don't have a schedule from them.
So if it's gonna be rain again in the middle of the next week, pretty heavy rain again. And then the following week is Thanksgiving. So I don't see how it's gonna get done by the end of the month.
Yeah, unless they work
But
the
Taylor
weekends.
says it's still their schedule to try to make up and maintain.
No, I understand, but the weather can turn pretty quickly here.
Yep.
Yeah,
You know,
we talked about
yeah.
winter conditions today and possible tenting if they need to, and what they're gonna have to do to keep working through the winter, so.
I think you got the same situation in putting the binding coat down there, that you better get on that pretty quick, because come December, and those plants close down.
We've made aware of that, we've talked to them about that, and they're progressing, and they seem to think they'll probably get that done by the end of the month, so that's the schedule they gave us, so.
Binder by the end of the month.
Okay. Guess we'll see.
Thanks.
Moving on to budget update. I provided update number, sorry, I got way too much paper here. I just need the, it's in the packet that, yeah, update number 7. I made copies of everything for everybody, and then Rita gave everything to everybody, so I have too much paper in front of me. But there's actually no changes since last month on budget update report number 7. So everything stayed status quo from last time. We do have a couple changes to look at tonight, potential changes. Last time I was here too, we talked that the selectmen had some questions on this. Funny enough, I actually just got off the phone with Mitzi, and she wanted to add one column which shows any savings and potential line items that we may have. For instance, if our dispatch console furniture comes in less than 75 grand, we show that savings of where we had our savings there. So I'll be adding a column to the right of the changes column that says savings, and you'll see that each month. questions on that?
I just asked a question. The cash flow for the project manager, he gave us one in the beginning.
Yeah.
Do you know if there's been any changes to that?
Not that I'm aware of, but
Okay.
I can check.
Just looking at the borrowings, I wanted to make sure.
Didn't we give you two? We gave you at the beginning, and
I
then
think you've given me two,
Yeah.
so since the second one.
the second one, there shouldn't be any updates to.
So this column of what's been dispersed, the 2.6 million, does not include tonight's bills, right?
It does.
Oh, okay.
It does.
That's better for me.
Yeah. I always take what is going out the door and put it, so that's
Yeah.
up to date as of today.
All right.
Yeah.
Because we do have another 2 million that we'll be receiving. We did another short-term borrow. And I just got worried, because I've got about 2.8 right now. So I'm
Yeah,
all
no,
right.
that includes everything.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Excuse to get it.
Okay. Changes, you should have a change order log in front of you as well. Hard to read this package. If not, I have copies. We have two that are on here and then a couple more that came up today that we can talk about. The first one being additional conduit for the fiber connection. So the town fiber is on the opposite drive of the Ted Williams Camp entrance. We didn't have anything provisioned to go underneath the Ted Williams Camp Road and bring that fiber over to the site. The thought was always that it was going to come from a pole down onto the site. So this is a cost to dig that trench, get conduit in, repave it, and there's a handhole that'll be added as well as additional conduit there. So we talked today about moving forward with this work so they could get it done as part of connecting all of our underground stuff at this point.
I thought it was across the street on that pole, no?
On the same side of the street.
It's on the same side as
Side of the
the
entrance.
project.
So where are we digging the trench on the Ted Williams camp?
It'll go from, if you're looking at the Ted Williams Camp entrance,
Yeah.
from the right underneath the entrance to the site
So you're gonna dig it up and.
and patch it.
Okay. Is that what we want?
Who's going to patch it? We just had that paved.
This is
Yeah,
great.
that's more, what, a year or two old, if that? Yeah, is there another option other than digging that up? I mean, can you trench under it, or? I don't know.
Don't bullet it.
They might be able to mole.
Yeah.
That's an option we could ask. I don't know how, it's kind of a long run, but we can certainly ask them if that's doable.
Yeah, that would definitely be preferred, because it's new pavement.
I don't know how Mass DOT, is there any work that we might have to be doing on that roadway anyway to reconfigure it?
Last I heard, it was gonna be more of a cutting away to create the radius at the end, more than adding or moving left and right.
Yeah, their complaint was that it had spread, the size of it had grown, so you have cars that you can have multiple cars coming out and trying to turn simultaneously, whereas if it was tighter, they'd stay in line.
They'd queue.
Yeah.
We don't have to make a decision on this today. We can certainly ask them if there is an option to mole underneath. And I can come back with you with that.
Okay.
And next is a credit for our wire mesh partition. If you remember, we talked about this, where our partition was before. We had an issue with our garage doors. We're coming up and hitting the top of the cage out in the outbuilding. So what we did was look at a different configuration, which changed the size of it a little bit, but we think actually works better for the department the way that we were able to incorporate it into the building. So because we cut down, it's a savings of over $5,000 there, which is great. And personally, I think that one's an easy one to approve.
We moved it from the left side of the outbuilding to the right side of the outbuilding within the storage area. The area of containment is the same. So we haven't cut down on the size of storage. We've just cut down on the way it was configured in the outbuilding. So we have the same amount of storage area for a reduced price.
So I'll make a motion to accept change order 15 for a reduction $5,266.
You have a second?
Second that?
All right, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. The motion carries.
Want to bring up these two
Yeah,
items?
you want to bring those up?
I have two items that are in discussion and I want to bring up to the committee for your consideration. I passed out a sketch, which is a conceptual impound lot plan. Within the site itself, the police department were interested in creating a lot for any impounded vehicles. They have an area in the back of this site for a couple vehicles. So we looked on the site, and there is an opportunity behind the outbuilding, and it would be extending the fencing that we have between the PD site and the park site, extending the fencing beyond the outbuilding, and then returning it back to the outbuilding, creating a gravel surface, and the gated access would be from the park's parking lot. There would be a small man door access and gravel walkway from the PD parking lot to get back into this new impound lot. In looking at this, it seems to satisfy the needs of the police department, but it has brought up some other conversations that if we create the impound lot, then it should also be lit and have camera surveillance. So it's not just a concept of fencing at this point. If we do the fencing in the gravel lot, then I think we'll also be coming back to you and giving you proposals for some lighting, which would be on motion sensors in the back, and camera surveillance to be able to keep an eye on anything that's in this area. But if you go by the site, you'll see that this area is not real visible from the street. And it gives us our best opportunity to create something that they're looking for.
Would the entrance be up here through this
Correct.
parking?
Correct.
Okay.
And how does that affect the drainage?
This area, as I was looking at it today, this area actually is high and dry. It's sandy back here. So there was no ponding of water that's in this area. We're not actually making the lake that's there any worse by creating this gravel surface. We're not helping the drainage out either, though. So it really makes no impact on what's happening out there with the drainage in the parking.
Well, I guess, I don't know if this is a good time to discuss it, Aaron, but the drainage design is supposed to take all the runoff from all the parking lots into the drainage system and not drain onto the Ted Williams camp.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
We take care of our site.
Okay, so there's nothing that's affecting, once the site's completed, that will affect the Ted Williams camp?
What is impacting the Ted Williams camp is the water that is on Ted Williams camp used to drain onto our site, and we're not allowing that to happen anymore.
No, I know that, but I just want to
But we're
make
not
sure
taking water
that
from our
we're
site.
covered.
We have actually, Nate and I have talked about a plan to address the drainage for the parking lot, because that is obviously an unforeseen problem that has come about as a result of this project, so.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say the problem has been there, and it wasn't engineered properly in the first place.
Yes, some of it was pre-existing, and just to that point, I'm meeting Jamie Bissonette in the Highway Department on site at 9 tomorrow morning to dig some holes and check the soils.
Yeah.
There's something I wanted to bring out tonight as far as
We also have
funding
catch basins
source.
here, too.
You know, we've kind of talked
That's like
about
an
this
emergency.
already, saying that there is some impact
it's
to
an
the site
emergency
because of the
overflow.
police station. A lot of that parking lot was draining onto that site. So, you know, at this point, we want to do the drainage evaluation, come up with a plan, and then put drainage in that. And, you know, I would like to ask this group to support that being funded out of the police station design monies. We'll have all of the estimates together and I'll represent that, but I think that that's an integral part of, you know, the olive branch, so to speak, to the parks. I think we've somewhat, maybe not created the entire issue, but it certainly exacerbated what was there, and I think we really ought to, you know, make sure that we leave them in pretty good shape. But we are making, you know, forward progress and at least evaluate.
I mean, I disagree. I mean, we put a project together that's supposed to take care of all of our drainage on our own site,
Right.
correct?
Yeah, but
Which it does.
But
So we're
Rich,
not
this water-
impacting that.
This water was going onto the police station site. So the police station site is containing infiltration on the site. What's happening is the water from the parking lot's no longer going onto the site. So now we're trying to mitigate what's falling on the parking lot. In order to do that, we can't dump it on the police station. We need to create infiltration on the parking site. That's what I'm saying.
But once again, you know, the previous superintendent just dumped gravel there and spread it out without any consideration about any drainage or whatsoever. Now, we have to pick that up? I don't think so. The town needs to pick it up, not us.
Well, I think through the town, I mean, the town's funding the police station site, so, I mean, if you think it should come out of a separate line item somewhere, that's...
Why should it come out of the police budget? It has nothing to do with us. Because it was done wrong in the first place.
Well,
I mean, it was done wrong in the first place, right?
I think it was done...
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Yeah,
Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, without thinking of the unintended consequences. Of course, at that time, they didn't know a police station was being built there. I think a lot of that water
course they
was
did.
shedding on... Well, all right. But I think a lot of that water was going onto the police station site.
No,
That's what I'm
but
saying.
I think, to your point, maybe it isn't necessarily something that shoulders on this project, but one way or another, we need to figure out a way to pay for it, because I think we need to fix this as both an error from the past, but also an unintended consequence of the way the drainage is working. I think the idea of getting a plan for drainage for the parking lot is a good one. I mean, we can figure out as a group whether we want to support that of that being funded through this mechanism or not. And if the answer to that is no, then that's okay. We got to fix the drainage somehow, I guess is my point. So that's the idea of the drainage, is to get a plan in place to, because that parking lot is unusable at this point. I mean, it's a very, very important parking area for the town in terms of utilizing Ted Williams Camp for the weekend and even during the week, you know, when all the soccer and different sports are playing there, so we gotta figure something out.
And it's not like it stays around a day.
No, it's
doesn't go
just
away.
there,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I have not released this sketch to the contractor for pricing. I wanted to bring it here first to see if this is something you want to pursue with pricing. If you think it's a good idea, we can continue this and get this into the hands of the contractor. They're aware of what the sketch is. We have just not asked them to do anything with it at this point until you, as a committee, have had a chance to see it.
So what exactly would happen back here that would be different? Is it really just the fence and then the gravel surface?
Correct.
Okay.
So what was gonna be there if it wasn't gravel?
Loam and seed.
And
And
the
no
fence
fence.
the fence was gonna
And-
stop as well,
The
right?
fence stopped at the outbuilding. And it was just loam and seed behind the outbuilding.
And are you gonna recommend, you'll have some drainage there, or the gravel will be able to?
No, it's sandy soils, we're just gonna use the gravel as a
Okay.
pervious, as a pervious
Pervious.
surface.
Okay.
That's why we're not proposing that we're putting paving back there. I don't think there's a requirement to have that to be paved, just keep it pervious and keep that as part of the runoff.
You're gonna have to go back to the Conservation Commission then.
This fell Outside of the scope of Conservation Commission, there's no wetland within 100 feet of this area.
No, we're talking about the drainage.
This
Well, the
would
planning board, I guess.
change the drainage. We're still impervious.
It may be prudent to send a memo to the planning board because they did site plan review to see, if we get the pricing and decide to go forward, we'll get a memo or a modification request into the planning board. That does make sense.
So there's add-ons to make this really functional. I think you touched upon it, lights, security,
And the fence.
and the fence.
Yeah, in addition to this sketch, I think if you are gonna make this an impound lot, now you're gonna be storing anything that's held there as potential evidence, that you'd want some lighting and some surveillance.
Would we have that price from Signet for the next meeting? Would we have the price regarding what it's gonna take for gravel?
We-
kind of all know together what it's gonna cost.
Yeah, we have a price from Signet for the outbuilding.
Yeah, not for outside, though.
The lighting.
That was for inside.
You're right, this is for inside.
Yeah, so I was gonna bring that up later.
Yeah.
But we can get pricing from AP Whitaker and bring it back to you, all-inclusive, gravel, fence, lighting, cameras. If this is a concept you want us to continue, we would continue in that vein.
And there'd be a credit for the loam and seed that would potentially go back there too.
I think that makes sense, and I'd like to see if we can get an alternate price as well. Once we saw the site, it seemed like it was better to have the fencing regardless of the impound lot. So just to delineate the site, if in alternate, we can at least the lineal footage of fencing behind there as drawn to continue down towards the tennis courts.
That fence be slatted or something, so it'll be okay, people couldn't see in.
We're calling for this section of it for the impound lot to be privacy fence, so it will have slats.
That's good. It's mostly for vehicles, right?
Yeah, and I mean, we do have times that we have something, vehicles that we've had out here for over a year and a half, awaiting trial. Obviously, we wouldn't want to keep them in the parking lot, so that would be ideal to have that area, to be able to have a vehicle or two that's back there.
Yeah.
How big an area is it? How big an area? Perfect.
It's the length of the building, 150,
108.
108.
The outbuilding's 108 feet, so you're 108 by 80.
56,000. 6,000.
It's taking available site area.
Okay, do we want to vote to move this
Proceed.
forward to get numbers? No, certainly not vote to do it, but just, that makes sense?
Yeah, you would proceed to get pricing.
Right, all right. So I'll entertain a motion that we proceed to get pricing relative to the impound lot.
So moved.
Second?
Any further discussion?
That will include the electric and the security.
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
My next item also has to deal with the outbuilding. We have, if you remember, when we went out to bid, we were nervous about the price. We made the outbuilding an alternate. We scaled back on components of the outbuilding. One of the components that we scaled back on is we took the drywall off the ceiling. And what we have now, we have trusses for the roof. We have blown-in insulation. And to hold that blown-in insulation, we have netting. So if you proceed as base contract, we can still maintain that, but you'll walk in and you'll be looking up and you have netting, which is holding up insulation. We discussed putting back the drywall ceiling, one, for aesthetics, but two, if any of that netting was to tear or get damaged, it would just start raining this blown-in insulation, and it might be harder for you to maintain it. over time. The drywall would give you a finished ceiling and a more finished appearance. It would relieve any concern about the blown-in insulation because it's contained above the drywall. The reason we're bringing it up tonight is they're starting to go in there and start to install unit heaters, and they have to install some exhaust duct work. Before they went to install all that at the ceiling, now's the time to make a decision whether you want to put drywall up there. Then they can just mount the ductwork and the heaters to the underside of drywall. If they mounted everything to the ceiling, then you made a decision to drywall that ceiling, it would just be that much more complicated and costlier to do it. We ran some numbers today on what we feel that is. The cost of that would be, we're in a range of about $12,000, but that's not the contractor's number. That's the contractor saying he feels he could do it for not to exceed that number. And he'll come back with the actual number, but would be on the underside of trusses, running 7/8 furring, installing drywall, finishing the drywall, and then painting the drywall. So you'd have then plywood on the walls, drywall on the ceiling, and you have a finished space, a better finished space.
It's roughly 2,500 square feet of drywall.
That decision, we really need to have some direction tonight, if that's something you wanted to do, because they want to get on that as soon as possible so they can continue to install ductwork and heaters into the ceiling.
I make a motion, we approve it not to exceed $12,000? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
It is.
I'll second that.
Okay, well, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
I just want to bring up one point to that is it's also going to increase the efficiency of the heating system. You're going to lessen airflow and you're going to have a better conditioned space from moisture in everything. So it really, really makes a lot of sense to do that at this point.
Okay. Anything else? All those in favor?
Aye.
The motion carries.
Third item has to deal with the outbuilding. There was a request from the police department to look to add camera surveillance within the outbuilding. We had taken all of the security cameras out of the project for the outbuilding. We do have conduits that run out there, so we have pathways. This is just now bringing wiring, and it's multi-mode fiber from the main building to the outbuilding. It's one 4-megapixel fixed indoor dome and one 5-megapixel fixed outdoor dome. And this is, so we have interior surveillance and we have an exterior camera surveillance.
On the front of the building.
This was to the front of the building. The price on this is $7,224. So this is starting to bring camera surveillance out to that building that we had taken off. We had also talked today about having the police department review any electrical needs that they might have that are specific to the outbuilding, because we were just running some convenience outlets around the outbuilding. And if there's any other electrical or access control that they would like to include. But this was the first thing that came up when they were reviewing the
Mike would
integrated
agree.
technology.
I mean, anything with evidentiary storage out there, we have to have a camera there, just for accreditation standards. And I think my thought at first was that there was gonna be a camera there, we didn't really know that until after. I mean, I think it's a pretty important piece to have that.
Oh, I thought that was gonna be
Set eyes on.
drywall, so. Like netting is gonna hold up the insulation?
Yeah,
It does.
it
Sounds
does.
great.
It does. Remember that request to just take as much out as you could?
The Marion Police Station that we, modeled this after, if you went in there and popped up the ceiling tiles, it's all netting. It's holding up their insulation.
Great.
It's done a lot, but yes, it was just netting.
So with this taking the major step, the additional camera on the back,
Is
So
gonna
maybe
be
money,
relatively,
but-
is minor compared to this, because this is bringing the fiber out to the outbuilding.
Yeah, it's just running a camera at that point.
Yeah. Once they have the fiber out there, it's just camera connections.
So make a
So
motion, we approve $7,200, is that what it is?
7224.
72,
Second that.
Any further discussion relative to the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
That's all I have.
and we're gonna do additional homework on the power.
Yeah, actually, Brian, you said you could send that plan, right, that has it marked off, so.
Show you where we're gonna put it. And the ductwork that we have out there, and we have unit heaters that are going on the ceiling, but I mentioned ductwork. We do not have air conditioning out in the outbuilding. The ductwork is for exhaust. We do ventilate it, we do exhaust that space.
All right, next, I wanted to talk owner vendor updates. I know Biff, I know you're here you wanna throw your hat in the ring for furniture. So is there anything else you wanna add to what you said before?
No, I just want to throw my hat because, as I had mentioned, I'm a resident of the town. We've been here for over 100 years, and I said it would just kill me to drive by the building every time and not have been involved in the process. And what we're representing, I understand from Taylor's standpoint, he was looking at a dealer that's on the state contract. Our manufacturer that we're representing is AIS, and they're in Leominster, Mass. They have 800 employees, 650,000 square feet of manufacturing. And they were just awarded this past month by the state of Massachusetts the Manufacturer of the Year. So that's who we're looking to represent. And I spoke to them today, and they're very interested in this project. And the pricing that you get from the state contract, as I'm sure Taylor understands, is a good price. What I'm hoping to offer is the best price. So in other words, AIS has a price of, let's say, 82% off. They're saying that's the minimum that they have to be able to discount. They're ready to currently give you an additional discount. So they can go more discount. So without bidding it, you're not gonna know if you're getting the best price. So that's all I'm requesting.
Okay. Does anybody have questions of Biff?
And I requested this back with Rita back in the 1st of September. So it's not like, I just came yesterday or whatever.
Can I see Taylor?
Yeah.
Just take 5 minutes.
We're back.
Yeah, so, because we're talking about, numbers and bidding and things, we don't think we should do that here. So we will definitely, discuss what you brought up, in the rest of our meeting, but we don't want to discuss it any further at this point.
But the only thing I just want to express is, I know that you were trying to expedite it because there was a price increase. There's no price increase from AIS because it's a Massachusetts-made product. And there's no tariffs and there's no increases. Right now in our business, it's going crazy with tariffs. So you're going to be protected. The price is going to be the spring list price of 2017.
Thank you.
So do I have any idea of?
Listen, we can't talk about it. And it's nothing personal, but we shouldn't be discussing this in this meeting.
Can I get some feedback at some point? Because like I said, it seems like I've been hitting my head against the wall here starting in September, going through the process. I just want to be included. I think this should be open and transparent. This is a state contract. This is a state bid. And I don't see any reason. The company we represent's been in business for 25, 30 years. 5-star. I mean, we can do any kind of homework. I can give you the information, background, financial, that you can have.
I'll certainly be in touch with you tomorrow. I'll give you a call tomorrow,
Okay.
and we'll go over, exactly what
Because
the
we
plan
can turn
is.
it around very quickly. We can get you the same specs and the pricing. And to me, again, being a town resident, paying my taxes, I just want to make sure that if you could save a few $1,000s, that you're saving a few $1,000s.
I have a plan in my head that I think we can, work out getting some pricing, so.
Okay. So am I all set?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, appreciate it.
So, can we talk offline about that after this meeting so the issue I have now is, we have a price in from a vendor that we've been working with. I've been giving updates on it. Getting any pricing out of any other vendors hasn't been happening. They haven't gotten back to me for one reason or another. So the police and myself have focused on one vendor. We now have a price that is, I won't even say how much it is because he now has the budget, but it's considerably under our budget that we're carrying for furniture. And it also includes the storage, the high-density storage that we pulled out in VE. We're still getting those, and we're well under our budget number. So, and the other part that complicates that even more is that company is having a budget increase on the 15th. So Frank and myself were meeting with them on Wednesday to finalize color selections. And at that point, we could be able to cut them loose, they can get the pricing done, and we're good. The only thing I can think of is if we want to introduce this to somebody else is, I have exactly what we're speccing for furniture. I can take all the prices off and I can give it to them and say, listen, if you want to bid on it, here it is, but I need your price before Wednesday. That's all I can think of in this.
He's not going off the state contract list, though.
He's not.
Okay, I mean, we gotta discuss it. I mean, that's why I took Taylor and Aaron outside the room, because he shouldn't be here discussing it with the committee, because he's getting preference by coming in front of us to discuss this when the other vendors are not, and that's not right. So that's why I mentioned it to Taylor and Aaron,
Yeah.
so.
And he just showed up. I didn't.
No, I understand.
He had sent me an email and I said,
He
no.
wasn't on the agenda or
Yeah.
anything, right?
And that's why I asked him to stop.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had sent me an email this week, and I said, I believe the committee's going to head in a different direction. I want to talk to him about it on Wednesday night. And that's what I was planning to talk to you tonight about, what I just said about with the vendor we have. They're under budget. They have a price hike coming up, so we wanted to move forward. So that's where I am with it.
So, I mean, I would think that we're so far down the process, at this point, in making a decision, and we've done our due diligence, I mean, between you two guys and Frank, and Chief, that we should continue on that path. I don't think we should slow down, that process if that's what we decided to do originally. I mean, to have a vendor come in that's not on the state bid list at this point and say, oh, I want to put a price in, that's not good.
What is
That's
that?
going to get us in trouble.
Well, what does that even entail?
I don't know. Well, we'd have to go out to bid then,
You'd have to go out to bid.
formally go out to bid.
I asked him-
Time sensitive,
Yeah.
that's gonna cost us.
I asked him if he was on the state bid list. He said no, but he's using a manufacturer that is. So what I sent him was, I actually sent him the state bid list for furniture, and it lists who all the vendors are, and you can go to every single one and get pricing. And one of the ones that we're working with is the one we're talking about that we have a good price from. So that's the one we've been, focusing on. Another one that's on that list has reached out to, I've reached out to them numerous times and gotten nothing back. They've reached out to you, Rita, before, and same thing, just won't send us any pricing. So we focused on, the one we're
Yeah,
going.
the one you're getting some service from.
Yeah. So that's where we are now.
He,
Reached out to us a while ago, and the email, I'd have to go back and check the emails, but the first question I asked was, are you on the state bid list? And he responded with, we're on these lists. I was focusing the attention on the state bid list. It's very easy to do for furniture, so. We've had very successful meetings with the vendor we're moving down the road with. I think the chief is comfortable with them. And again, I think the price that we're at is extremely good. But it's we could pull everything back and we could put it out to bid. We're probably looking at a turnaround time, if we were to do that, about a month and a half to get everything back and make a decision.
And then you lose the,
What's
And
the,
then
what's the
preferential
hit
pricing.
on the increase?
Around 15 grand. Which is still below our budget, but it would be nice to have that, make that move on Wednesday and say we don't have to worry about it.
right?
May
Were you looking for us to vote to do that?
I was.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking for, tonight, I didn't know he was gonna be here. I thought, when I had sent him an email that okay, fine, that's the direction they're heading, not an issue. So my recommendation tonight was gonna be, listen, this is the vendor we've been working with. We have the price hike on Wednesday.
Mhm.
We're gonna meet with them for finishes. Is everybody okay with moving forward with this vendor at this price,
Right.
So that was gonna be my recommendation, and that changed.
So, a couple months ago, you had some conversation that really never progressed.
It never,
because
yeah,
it
it never
was-
really went anywhere. I know Brian sent him the plans, and they never followed up with any pricing or anything, so.
And he's not on the state list, and he didn't identify at that point who
His company,
who he was repping. so to
Sheehan's
speak.
office,
Yeah.
is not on the state bid list. I made a point to look at it. I confirmed, they're not on that list.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm comfortable moving forward the way we were. I mean, I think if that's what your request was to get a motion to that effect, I'm comfortable with that. Is everybody good with that plan of attack?
I assume the quality is the same, and I mean, I haven't seen the furniture, I don't know, but I mean, I assume.
I don't know what Sheehan's had, I've never.
No,
yeah.
the one we're going with.
Yes, the vendor we're using, we use in police and fire stations all over the place.
I had occasion to go over to Middleborough 3 weeks ago, and they went with the same vendor. They had just got their furniture. I was able to take a look at it. Everything looks really good. Discussions with them have been really good. I think it'd be a good fit.
Okay.
I think we all probably share a little, there's a local guy, but yet the rules and the schedule dictates.
Right, I mean, there's a process and we have to adhere to that and we don't, to take a step back at this point would miss deadlines and it would cause problems with scheduling and in terms of obtaining the stuff that we need, so.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what, discounts he was speaking to, things like that, but as far as I know, when a municipality uses that state bid list, that's the best pricing you're gonna get. Those are all already negotiated contracts,
Right.
of what they have to price everything at, so everybody's at a fair playing level on those lists. And like I said, I think we have a deep discounted price right now. That includes something that we took out of the building. So I thought it was a win-win.
Okay, all right, so with that, I guess I'll entertain a motion to that effect to use, I don't even know if we even formulated exactly what we're looking for. We're staying the course here. What should this motion say?
I guess it's WB Mason as the vendor. So to move forward with WB Mason for furniture purchases.
Okay.
So moved.
Second? All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. And next, I just wanted to talk about town IT integration. So this is kind of formed into its own little group with Rich,
We're getting kicked out of here at 6:30.
Nate. All right, so town IT, yeah. Rita and the chief, we've all kind of formed into another smaller group that'll deal with any town IT items that are coming over from the town hall and the library. So we're working on those separately. That includes anything having to do with radios, and then also, again, the town side of IT that'll be in that room. So Tim Graybars is a big part of that as well. We've started keeping an action log for that, and that's going to be kind of another separate offshoot of coordination that we'll be doing, ongoing. I think it's very healthy and early, so that'll kind of transform at some point until we'll start meeting with the contractors on site, talking about that integration as well, so wanted to just highlight that. That was everything I had.
Yeah, we would anticipate some change orders there too, Aaron,
With the IT stuff?
the communication stuff.
Yep.
Especially with the fire and police.
Okay, yeah, I would think that that's, yeah.
Yeah.
So part of that too is the radio bid is actually gonna go out looking for pricing for DPW and fire. And we're gonna have them break it up, so you can look at each portion, and then the town can make a decision if they wanna, fund what and if what portions.
Okay. So the rest of our agenda is to review the invoices.
I have the originals here. Who should I give these to?
I'll tell you.
Nate, would you bring, after Frank signed them, would you bring them back to the town hall tomorrow?
All right, so we have general construction from AP Whitaker for $515,884.87. Architect and engineering construction, $7,000. Owner's project manager construction, $14,476. Geotechnical oversight, $1,212.53.
And can I just jump in, Aaron, quickly?
Yep.
So that geotechnical oversight line, we had been given a number of around $12,000 for that, and if you remember, we said we were gonna try to not use all of it. So we're at below 6,000 now, and I don't think we're gonna use any more of that. We're out of the ground, there's no reason to have a geotech back on site for anything, so there's a savings of $6,000 in that line.
Okay, great, thank you. And then material testing, $518.74. Does anybody have any questions about any of these?
I think we should have a formal motion, Aaron, to get some on the record. So
For what?
We need a formal motion, and I will make that for you.
Okay.
Okay. I make a motion to approve $515,884.87 for AP Whitaker. $7,000 for J.H. Humes. $14,476 for Pomeroy Associates. And $1,212.53 for LGCI Geotech Consulting. Oops, one more, excuse me. And $518.74 for SW Cole Engineering. I second that.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Okay, so anything else anybody want to bring up? Open discussion, new business? Next meeting is set for December 5. Does that work for everybody?
Correct.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, if that is it, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye. We are adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.